So we would like to welcome everybody to the Abington Affordable Housing Trust Fund Committee meeting tonight in the Buckley Room, and we'll start with Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We would like to welcome Bruce.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Bruce.
Welcome
Back, Bruce. Yes.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And Kevin Cogan, Assistant Town Planner, so we'll be talking about things later on the agenda. Do we want to do a reorganization of the board?
Sure. I want to preface it by saying I do not wish to be secretary because I'm already Secretary of Council on Aging.
Okay.
Does anybody want to nominate themselves for anything?
I'd prefer not to be chair, but I don't know if Bruce would like to take that position back again. I'd be happy to nominate you.
Okay.
Would you do it?
Yeah, I'd do it. Sure.
Okay. You want to nominate him?
Sure.
I'll nominate Bruce.
I'll nominate Bruce to be chair.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll
I
second
hope-
that.
I think.
All in
All in
favor?
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 Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
None opposed, so
Okay.
that's good.
I would have done notes, but I didn't bring anything to write notes with. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Do we want?
You want to be
vice
secretary?
chair? I don't think I could bite that off.
Oh, I guess that would be me. Okay.
What about vice chair?
I could do that unless you want to step up for it.
I would rather not.
Okay. All right.
So Pam is,
So I'll nominate Pam as vice chair.
Okay.
Pam is me. And
Somebody want to second that?
Oh, I'm
second-
sorry.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'll nominate Suzanne as secretary.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Okay. Minutes. Are we going to be having people doing, like, going back still and doing minutes? I know Tony did a few of those, right? Is that?
Yes, somebody did a few of those. My feeling with that is that there was a lot of like spelling mistakes. It was pretty rushed. So if someone was going to do the minutes, I can put the minutes together.
Going forward.
Going forward,
Yeah.
yeah. If I'm
Okay.
gonna, and that will be your report, like going through the minutes. And that will be kind of like the report with added stuff to it. If that
Okay.
works for everyone.
Yeah, that's fine. Because I was thinking now that we're kind of starting over, we could even probably put some minutes together from the last meeting and
Yeah.
at that point going forward.
Okay.
So,
That's
Okay.
good.
because that was a short meeting anyway,
Yeah.
last month.
Right, right,
There wouldn't be any problem.
This doesn't have to be word for word minutes, but as long as we get the gist of it.
right, right.
That's the main thing.
It was just that we were paying for it and it
Yeah.
was, they were
Yeah.
wrong,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so.
Correspondence. I received correspondence from the town manager. And we're gonna have these things on the agenda anyway, and that was the update on North and Center Schools and 161 North Quincy Street that he wanted put on the agenda. So that was the only correspondence I had from him. And then from the town planner and assistant town planner, the High Street Brockton Ave Linwood property, and the Mass Housing Partnership, the virtual conferences. So those are both on the agenda, and we'll talk about those. So that was the only correspondence that I received. All right.
Okay.
Okay, and so the first update was on the North and Center School. And I guess they put out the RFP on Center School, and there was interest, but only if North and Center were combined. So they're gonna be revising the RFP to include both schools and see how that goes.
Right, and they're gonna wait on for North because the DPW will be moving there temporarily
Right.
until the new building is up and running
Right,
at Central Street.
right. So we'll just wait to hear back.
So will they be able to do the RFP now?
Yes.
And say that, you're just gonna have to wait?
Right, you're going to have to wait.
Because it's gonna take a while anyway.
Right, exactly, to get, permits and all the other stuff. So they can still move forward, whoever decides to do that. And then that's one of the stipulations, you're going to have to wait because we're going to have to use North School. And if you
Right.
want both of them, that's part of the package.
Okay.
So basically, because the North School's going to be occupied for, what, a couple of years, Kevin?
Yeah.
And if it has to be a package of both the North and the Center Schools, we're sort of on hold with those then for a while, aren't we?
Well, they can work on, like, the opinion was if they knew that that was part of the deal, that both schools and one would have to wait, they could still move forward with the other one.
Okay.
So,
Are they actually going to
Whoever.
be occupying the building or just parking the vehicles there?
they're going to have to occupy the building.
They're going to have some sort of offices there, I'm sure.
Right,
Okay.
right, they're going to occupy, right, Kevin?
I just wonder about security at that site. I mean, I know, I've talked to people about this, and it's in the center of North Abington, I get it. It's a high visibility location. But you still got millions of dollars of equipment which are gonna be outside. And, I would at least think that they'd want some sort of fence or security cameras or something there anyway. But that's just me.
I'm sure they'll take care of it. So, anything else on that? And the next thing on the agenda is 161 North Quincy Street, the Friendly 40B project. And Mr. McGill, if you wanted to,
Hello, my name is Don McGill. I'm the developer for 161 North Quincy. Where the site is right next to the Dunkin' Donuts, between Dunkin' Donuts and that gas station. There's about a 15 plus or minus acre property in there that we're looking to develop into 249 units. We're looking to do a friendly 40B. We spoke to the town manager. He talked to the Board of Selectmen, and they said if, in order for them to sign off, they would like, support me to present to your group, and then if we get your support, they will sign on the lip, and we can submit it for a site eligibility letter. We're working with, we are on the Brockton line, so there's already an existing IMA for sewer for Brockton. We are in the works of extending that, and we're working on an IMA with Brockton for water.
What's an IMA?
An intermunicipality agreement.
Okay, thank you.
So that's what we're looking to do, and like I said, it's 249 units. It's a mix of 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. It has entry-level units. Obviously, it's 4 stories, 3 plus a 4-story on part of the top, so the entire building is elevator accessible. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
So is it 1, 2, 3 living spaces, and the 4th would be,
Do you want, the 4th, do you want me to, I have some plans, if you'd like me to go through them. I know you have some too. I don't know how unwieldy these will be to try to, but so the fourth floor is only a partial, it's a full floor, but it only takes over part of the top of the building. So, it's hard to tell. So it's 3 floors, and then the top floor, instead of having 20 units, has like 10, something like that. It's only part of the 4th floor. So we're working with, I have them all wrapped up because it was raining out, so. So let's see, what's the best way to do this. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna start with these. I don't know if you have these, so just an overall site layout.
That's this one, right?
Yes, yeah, this one. So the property, as you come in from this entrance, there'll be a double driveway coming in. There's access around, there's 2 buildings with, roughly with 120 plus units each building, apartments. And there's accessibility all around the whole building. It loops around the parking. There's a trail back here. These are the power lines and then the state park. So it's all open space back there. And the, we're looking at amenities such as a pool, a weight room, a conference or central area where they can have, rent out or use for, whatever events they may want, and, for the residents. And,
So that goes back from North
yes, it's
Quincy,
long
so
and skinny, it's
long.
rectangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it runs
Right.
up. Next door is the, I don't wanna call it a junkyard, but the
Yeah.
vehicle
We know.
storage lot.
Yeah, we're very familiar
Auto
with it.
reclamation yard.
Yeah, so we are trying to work with that to get that cleaned up, but what we've done, the way we've situated the buildings, we've tried to, as soon as the gables are right here, so it didn't feel like a massive, or the massing, we pushed it back against that far side. So these wings are set back and stepped, so the gables will be up over here.
I wish you could buy that property and, I wish you could.
I don't, yeah, so, this'll help,
Yeah, yeah.
This'll, the area starts improving. I know there's been some movement on some of the smaller lot up front there, or fixing it up and
Yep.
vehicles, but, that can't stay like that
No,
forever.
no.
It can't.
It's a blight on the town, really.
It is, and also, you have to be careful with all those vehicles sitting around, vehicles don't last forever, they start to deteriorate,
Yeah.
and,
Contaminate the,
yeah, so we've done 21E already, so our site is clean. We have a successful 21E, so where our goal is to get your support, and then, obviously get the sign off submitted for, our site eligibility letter, and then take it through zoning. And,
Do you have a figure in mind for affordable units that will be,
I think
In
it's
the complex?
25, you mean price-wise for the units?
or just is it 25%?
I think it's 25%, yes.
yeah, that sounds about right.
So you've got
25%.
249 and 63 are affordable.
Yeah, I think it's on, yep. And then, there is, in my 40B consultant have the numbers, for the pricing of the affordable units. I don't have them at the fingertips, he didn't. make
That's
it.
okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Which is probably saving me money by the minute. So,
No, that's fine. I was just wondering if if it was gonna be 25%
Yes,
affordable.
25%, yeah.
No?
We're working with the same architects who did the 55 plus. This is not age restrictive, although it's designed with that in mind. You have elevator access to all buildings. There's, first floor garden style apartments, but I think the same architect who did the one in town, TAT, we're working with them as well, and the engineer,
The one on,
Mackenzie, is
at 1015 Plymouth? Or
right downtown. I think it's,
North Abington?
North
or-
Abington?
yeah, I think
The n-
so.
Yeah,
which one?
The new ones across
It's a
from Arnold
55
Park?
plus.
What's 55 plus and
Well, no.
right now?
What's that?
I'm trying to figure out which one it would be.
Hang on, I'll tell you which one it is that they worked on.
Is that Wayne Street, but that's not a big
I don't,
complex?
I don't think that's 55 plus.
Mm-mm.
That's not.
The architects worked on, because they sent me the Abington Senior Housing Site, 1015 Plymouth Street.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one I thought it was.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, I'm chair of the planning board, so I'm sure
I'm sure we're gonna,
be talking.
yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna be talking to every department as I make my way through.
Well, I think from our standpoint, with it being, affordable, and it's, good number of units and the 25%, I mean.
And it's friendly.
Yes.
That's my favorite part.
Well, that's,
Yeah,
It's easier doing it that way than,
It
you
is
know.
easier working together
Yeah,
than
Right.
yeah.
button heads and not accomplishing anything.
And I've been working, trying to work on this for about a year and a half now to get it to this point. So, Scott has been very, very helpful, in suggestions, and I met informally, but I guess it was, gosh, was it a year ago already? With the housing authority in town. What's your
The senior housing?
yes, well, the housing people in town, the group, what's it, Mass? Paul?
I'm Paul Cusson
Hi.
from Dolphin
Hi.
Associates. Apologize for being late.
That's okay.
It's okay.
Route 24 was a mess.
Oh,
And
good.
it took me through all these back roads.
It's all a mess
I don't
up
know
there
where
tonight.
you started off.
They were just about to sign it, we're heading out. No, just- no, I was, no, I was saying I met informally, before Paul came on board, I met informally with just, someone from the planning department, someone from your, affordable housing group, it was about a year ago, and just,
He came in, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
It probably was Kenny.
That was,
Yeah.
it might have been, and it was, back then it was 302 units, 303 units, so we've since sized it down, just to make it a little more pleasant to look at.
The great thing about this, I mean, I know you have to do your presentation, but this will increase the value of the land on that area and perhaps encourage the junkyard owner
Hope so.
to sell because he could get more money for his property if that were redeveloped.
He's lucky he'd be able to sell
For the
Well, I
record,
mean-
it's vehicle storage, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful site.
it. So what we're proposing is, my expertise is in the area of the permitting under Massachusetts General Laws 40B. So, and there are a couple of ways to do that. Some of you may be aware of those ways and not. And what we're trying to do is, there's been a lot of discussions with other town boards, including the town planner and different folks, is we're trying to do this under the so-called friendly 40B process, which is under the LIP program, Local Initiative Program, which is basically a program which is sponsored by the Board of Selectmen. It becomes the town's application. And that's done through the Executive Office of Housing and Community Development, which used to be DHCD. And they changed their name, I don't know, about a year ago or so. So what we're proposing is that this be permitted through the Zoning Board of Appeals. And in order to get to the Zoning Board of Appeals, we have to have legal standing. And the way we get that is by getting what's called a site eligibility letter, saying that we are eligible under the program to proceed. In order for that to happen, the Board of Selectmen have to sign off, saying, yeah, it's their application. They approve the development in concept. Same thing as what we're sort of asking you guys to do, it's in concept. The actual permitting, the details of the engineering, any wetlands on the site, setbacks, height, so forth, rests with the Zoning Board of Appeals. They would get into all of the details. We have Brad McKenzie, who is a well-known engineer. I've done many developments with Brad. And his engineering and so forth will be reviewed by a peer review engineer selected by the town, by the ZBA, at the applicant's expense, to review all the technicalities, pipe sizing, drainage, and also we'll take a look at the architecturals. They don't really review the architecturals in great detail, that's more for the building department, but they'll approve the height, the location, the number of units, etc. And I'm looking for my breakdown, and what we have is, so, no, I'm looking for the breakdown between the ones, twos, and threes. So they're, under the statute, or under the rules and regulations, we have to have 10% of the units for 3 bedrooms. And I think there are 82 one-bedrooms, or 131 bedrooms. It's, was the total?
Units, two-bedroom, which are affordables.
Well, the 25% of the total will have to be affordable. And they're
Yeah.
distributed throughout the buildings. There are basically 2 buildings with courtyards. I don't know if you've gone. and
Yep, I
shown
should,
them.
yep, and they have a set of
And
plans.
they have a set of
Yep.
plans. And going through the friendly 40B process, we can set aside up to 70% of the affordable units for residents of Abington,
Wow.
which is a big plus. And that can be people who presently live in Abington, work for a company in Abington, work for town hall, DPW, all the DPW teachers and that whole group. So that can be set aside. And the rest, so what happened when we do, those applicants are typically selected by a lottery process. And we have 2, I'll call them fish bowls, with applicants' names in them. So the local residents get 2 stabs at it. They go in the first, set aside, the first bowl, which is reserved for local applicants. Those numbers get all picked up, and then they also go into the at-large pool. So they get a double shot at the local residents, get a look. So that's one of the big advantages under the LIP program. If for some reason the town does not want to go through that process, we would then go through mass housing. So either agency would issue, I don't see any reason why the agencies would not issue a site approval letter. Done this many times. So that site approval letter from EOHLC or Mass Housing, in this case EOHLC, will give us the legal standing to appear before the zoning board of appeals. And it goes through a public hearing process, all of the abutters get notified and so forth. So as you know, we're between the Gables apartment complex, which some of you may not remember, but I was involved in that as well, with Stonebridge Homes.
I was on the planning board when I went through.
Well, it started out as a 40B, it ended up going through the planning board. It's a long history on that development. And what I'll call the junkyard on the other side.
Vehicle storage.
Vehicle storage and reclamation.
Head of marketing.
So I'd be glad to answer any questions anybody has in regard to the process or any other types of questions. So hopefully between Dawn and I, we can answer them.
I just, quick question. How much, you said it's like 15 acres now?
I think it's like
It's
15,
11.9, I think.
11.7
Yeah.
square feet per 21.26, I don't know what that means. Yeah, I guess, sorry, 11.7.
12 acres.
12 acres, so what's the coverage of the 12 acres? How much open space is there gonna be at this place?
Well, I don't know if they have that calculation, we can get that calculation for you, unless it's in the plans, but there are 2 courtyards. It's and I think in the top back, there's some open space, which is some.
It would be the impervious coverage. would be-
Impervious coverage doesn't necessarily, yes, impervious
So
coverage.
it's total 510,000 square feet, and pervious would be 205, so about 300,000 square feet of,
No,
is that right?
Where's this, impervious?
Yeah, impervious is like building coverage.
Impervious is 4.72 acres.
Okay.
Okay,
So the total, so the pervious material is the balance.
okay.
So it's.
So that's about 7 acres, and that includes the parking and everything
Right.
else. So that's pretty good. I mean, I'm trying to be objective, but that sounds pretty good to me.
I mean, there's a high demand for apartments, especially the affordable side of the apartments.
Well, Abington is pretty close on the 40B. As far as, I think if you've done the research, Abington is pretty
They're
close.
less than 10%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
yeah. But it's pretty close, you know, compared,
But either you're pregnant or you're not.
yeah. Okay,
But,
Yeah, and I think this would help to get, because what will happen is, because this is rental, this will take you over the 10%. Because
Yeah.
all of the units in a rental department, even in a rental development, even though only 25% are set aside as affordable,
Right.
they all count towards the the subsidized housing inventory, which is the 10%.
Yep,
So every community has the 10% goal. And that puts you many times in a favorable light, along with the MBTA plan,
yeah,
with
because
the
we've,
state on other types of funding.
because we have voted, Abington has voted to be part of that MBTA plan, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not a minority of communities, 350, I don't know how much, it's 240, about 240 communities are eligible, Ken?
Yes.
And
So
150,
that whole thing's being tested right now.
yeah, Milton,
And-
Yes.
Milton.
Milton.
Milton, yeah.
Milton case.
Milton, yeah.
Milton case. I
And
think
that's like
Canton also was looking.
Hanover, there's several. Hanover
Yeah.
just voted against it,
Yep.
Duxbury and
More and
places
more
like
seem
that.
to
Well,
be.
Duxbury's doing it.
Oh, Duxbury is doing it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're involved in Duxbury. We
Okay.
do a lot of developments in Duxbury and in Kingston.
But the vast majority of the communities have approved it. It's just a few holdouts, really.
Well, there was a lot of, it's a whole different.
Oh, yeah, no, I-
lot
that's a
of
whole
issues.
different
The
meeting.
regulations have
Yes.
not been issued. What's the percentage of
Yep.
affordable housing that's required under the MBTA Act? And not only that, they say you have to design, I would argue that if this got approved, this should count towards the MBTA goal, even though it doesn't fit within the acreage that they say it should fit.
Yeah. Abington has always been proactive. We did the Todd over by the train station. If you look at the number of single-family houses versus multifamily units, Abington's on that, and we've been pretty strong on the 40B. So,
Yep.
you know, I'm echoing my good friend Rick Collins, who's on the planning board with me, but Abington has been very proactive as far as housing goes. So, I mean, you know, I understand why you guys are here because we're under that 10%. But by the same, I'm just telling you, you should know this, that Abington's been proactive in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think,
Been involved in a couple of things there. There's also inter-services municipal agreement that they're trying to work out between Abington and Brockton.
Yeah, I mentioned that, yeah, the water rights.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that, without that inter-services municipal agreement, this development would be changed drastically.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll probably be over the 10. We got 0 Summer Street too. So
Yeah.
that's not,
Yeah.
you know, so.
That was
we'll-
the unfriendly
Being
40B.
over 10 is not the end, that's.
Well, it's a moving target. It's
No,
al-
no,
it's
I mean,
always a moving target.
It's good, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, we're gonna be in good shape, you
Right.
know,
But it
because
doesn't
we've got to,
necessarily mean that I can't come in with another development under 40B.
right,
You have a safe harbor provision by
Right.
which you could technically, you have to notify the developer within 15 days, but you could say, hey, we're taking safe harbor, see you later. Or sometimes they're being proactive to get over the 10%. So that, and so they can pick and choose developments that they want.
yeah,
And we're in the process of updating the housing production plan.
Yeah, but you don't have, yeah, so you
We-
need a
we-
housing production plan and a certified housing production plan.
But we do have a housing production, housing production plan.
Okay, you do?
But Old Colony Planning Council is helping update it.
That one's from 2019, I think.
Right, so, and this is 2024, so only 5 years old.
Yeah.
So there again, the housing production plan and the certified plan, housing production plan, is another safe harbor provision.
Yeah.
That's allowed under the regs.
Yep.
That you could pick and choose your other developments.
So that's just another example of how the town's been
Certified housing
proactive.
plan, you can't, it's a 2-year wait list on a certified housing plan.
It just showed, you know, we're fortunate to have a town planner and an assistant town planner, and good partners in Old Colony Planning Council.
We're doing some stuff in Berkeley, and Berkeley's such a small town, that they're totally lost.
Well, you got Serpent down there,
It doesn't
Yeah.
really help them they do.
yeah,
And it helps them on some things, but not.
yeah,
And they're just having trouble getting people on boards.
yeah. I know Berkeley, so it's,
We've done 3 developments.
mm,
Do you have the breakdown on the 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms, or were you unable to find that?
I'm gonna try to find that. I do have it. Yeah, right there. My fancy, let's see, so we have 249 units. And we have hundreds, I'll break break it out this way. We have 117 one-bedrooms, of which 29 are affordable, and 88 are market rate. Then we have 102 two-bedrooms, of which 25 are affordable, and 77 are market rate. I think we might need to change that 25 to 26. But, and the three-bedroom, there are a total of 30, 8 affordables, and 32 market, and 22 market rates. So it gives us a total of 187 market rate units, 62 affordables, for a total of 249 units. And that may not change as we go through the process.
Did you do the math?
I did.
Because I always know you do.
Want me to do it again?
No, no.
Yeah, I got it.
So she's great, she always does the math. I'm on another committee with her.
Okay, fine. So what we would be asking is for the board to take, this is not a public hearing, but, well, it's a
Yeah.
public meeting. So we would ask the board to take a vote to recommend to the Board of Selectmen that this board supports the development concept, and so notify the board.
So-
We've talked to Scott Basie, who used to be a Duxbury guy. Did several developments when he was there. So that's what has suggested and recommended that we do, and that's why we're here tonight.
So what's your timeline with us?
We're ready to submit, as soon as the board signs. I have an application right here for the board to sign. It's,
And they have, and I think,
just to give you an idea, that's the application.
Oh, wow.
and then they have a meeting, if it gets the support of your group, they have, I think the board of select have a meeting, I think it's the Friday between Thanksgiving and the weekend, or some special meeting that they called, and they said that if they had the support, they'd sign it for next meeting, because the next one isn't until sometime farther off.
The next meeting is Monday.
Monday.
Is it Monday? Okay, so maybe that's the,
Like a few days from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's two
so what
buildings?
would happen is that,
Two
from a
buildings.
timing
Yeah.
point of view, we would submit the the board who signed it will submit the application probably 2 or 3 days after that, we're ready to go. We have to do a few things, and as we start going through that process, EOHLC will require some additional information that they have to get, and we'll work with them to that. And it will typically take them, Rieko Hayashi, I don't know if you know Rieko, it would typically take 3 to 4 months, sometimes longer, for them to issue a site eligibility letter. We then would have to sort of follow, I'm not sure if this ZBA has any particular rules and regulations regarding a submission of a 40B application. Typically, they follow the rules and regulations under the statute. So we would prepare an application. So from the time we receive a site eligibility letter, it's typically another 3 or 4 weeks before we submit to the ZBA, and then the ZBA has 30 days to open up the hearing. So we're hoping all done and everything, a year, maybe a year and 3 or 4 months. So I would say somewhere between 12 and 16 months, we should, hopefully, if everything goes right.
My friend Elaine Viner works for that state agency that you're
I'm
talking
sorry?
about. My friend Elaine Viner works for that state agency that you're talking about.
What department?
It's the housing, and whatever they've renamed it now. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
EOHLC.
Yeah.
Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities.
Yeah.
Terrible name.
she has to always spell it out when she communicates.
Yeah. They have a lot of different housing sections, okay? Rieko Hayashi is the director of the LIP program.
Mhm.
You are on the Board of Selectmen's agenda for Monday night. It starts at 5 o'clock. It's going to be at Abington High School, which is the building next door, because we're having the town meeting after that there.
Mhm.
Anybody else have any other questions, or?
I like it. I like that it's friendly 40B because we just went through one that was
Not too friendly?
harrowing.
Harrowing.
What was the problem with it? What kind of development was it? Just curious.
It's,
Rental or for sale?
oh, it's rentals,
Rental,
right by the train tracks.
0 Summer Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
It
and-
started out years ago with the initial owner, actually, and everything was meetings and meetings and months and months and months, and it looked like it was gonna go, and then he withdrew everything. And then this
There might have been some
big
other issues.
company came in. No, we had really ironed out like a
Was it
lot.
Avalon or one of them?
No,
No.
I can't even I don't even know who the company is now that's got it, but they were not very friendly.
no.
Well, I'm not local, but we try to deal, I've been dealing with boards for a long, long time, and I kind of try to understand their hot buttons and that sort of thing. And we try to be as fair as, we both know where the law sits, and we try to work with the concerns, and a lot of
Yeah.
times we'll have neighbors that have some, so that's
Yeah.
important, so we try to address legitimate concerns from neighbors.
Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth with that. The buildings were too high, there were too many for the plot that it was on, like, the fire department couldn't get their trucks around. It was
Yeah.
the height of it.
That's a big issue.
Yeah.
A 40B can really be shot down
Yeah,
for the primary reason of safety and health.
yeah,
Those
yeah.
are the main.
It was a long process,
Yeah, and it depends on the fire chief too, but,
yeah.
that's an important
You gotta
issue
be
that
safe.
that we have to take, we have
Yep.
to pay attention to that as well.
Well, let's put it this way, the town planner at the time, Dan Crane, who just passed away recently, Dan would always ask me, what's going on with 0 Summer Street?
Wow.
You know, so that was a long time ago.
So
Well,
what do we
So what
think?
is what is the motion we need to make?
Just, I would say to
To
support
support.
the concept of the project.
If I may?
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I would suggest that it be such that this board, okay, have met with the applicant and hereby supports in the general concept, this plan, and encourage the board of selectmen to sign an LIP application. Something.
So moved.
What he said,
Something along those exact words.
what he said,
No, okay, well, let's just spell it out for the minutes here. What's the exact motion again, please?
I would say that this board have met with the applicant for 161 North Quincy Street regarding a affordable housing development consisting of 249 units. And hereby supports the plan in concept and recommend to the Board of Selectmen that they sign a local initiative application, in parentheses, LIP.
sounds good to me.
Okay.
There was a.
I make that motion.
Okay, someone want to second that, please?
I'll second it.
Are you still running the meeting?
I don't know.
Yeah, you
I'll-
gotta- you-
I'll-
You call it.
Suzanne, you wanna second it, or?
Yes.
No,
it's been seconded.
he
He
seconded.
seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Are you and I, Suzanne?
Oh, sorry, sorry, I can't
Yeah.
speak and write at the same time, sorry.
So I would add to the, whatever you sent, that it was a unanimous decision.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you so much for.
I just need the spelling of your last name.
This is encouraging.
Nice.
And hopefully I'll see you, definitely see you again,
I'll
right?
see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I spoke to you on the phone, so yeah, thank you.
Give me a call anytime anybody has any
I'll probably
questions. and-
Thank you
see you
very
at some
much.
of the meetings. It'll be a better experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Did you want me to turn it over to you, Bruce? Do you want me to?
No,
go
we'll do it through this
Want me
meeting.
to just go through? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I'll do it next
All
time.
right, so now on to Kevin. You want to,
Yeah. So, the planning department was discussing funding options for potential wetlands delineation and base plan for the land on High Street and Brockton Ave, Linwood Street. It used to be owned by the schools. And in the packet area, there's like a map that you could probably see it. It's, yeah, I see you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It occurred to Liz and I that funding through CPC would not be available until July 1st, 2025, but the Affordable Housing Trust funds could be voted on like immediately and available immediately. So it's up to the trust. And if the trust prefers, we continue with community preservation funding, we will do that. But if the trust feels they are able to fund this initial investigation into how much land is available for affordable housing to the town, we would appreciate it if you add it to your next agenda. And basically, what it would be a vote to appropriate $15,000 for the purpose of doing a wetlands delineation survey and base plan and any other relative work on the land at High Street, Brockton Ave. And the purpose of that survey and plan is to see exactly how much usable land there is for housing. So Liz and I, planning department, town manager Scott Lambiase, appreciate your consideration.
Is this the plan that you discussed with us before that would be multi-generational?
Yeah. It
Okay.
would be,
So I see it-
workforce housing, it would be entry-level housing, senior housing. That's the concept in general, what was thought of at first. So we initially applied for a grant through the One Stop portal, through the Real Estate Technical Services grant, but we were unsuccessful in getting that grant. So we've been looking at alternate ways of getting some affordable housing on this parcel of land. And we thought we could go to CPC, but then, as I mentioned, the funds wouldn't be available until July 1st, but, you know, we wanted to come to see if you guys could help us out.
Do you want us to put that on the next agenda?
Yeah, and that would be putting that on your next agenda, and I can also send over exactly what the vote would be, like, in an email
Okay.
to Bruce, Mr. Chairman.
this was brought up at CPA.
Yeah, there were some wetlands that Jean had noticed. She's on the conservation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about it the other night.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh,
so this is just a survey to find
I
out
said, this
what
looks
might
awfully
be
familiar.
available.
Yeah, so it's just basically a survey to find out exactly how much land is actually developable there. I haven't been to the site, I don't really know, but apparently, we contacted our town engineer, Larry Silva, who works for the planning board, and to try and get an initial thought on what's going on out there. And he came up with a price points for how much this delineation would cost. And yeah, so we would hope to try and hire Larry if this would happen, so.
Would any of it be affordable,
The housing?
housing?
Yes.
Okay. Because I know that's right next to George Gillespie Way, which that was a 40B, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, we
So
talked
it would-
about that
It
at
would be,
CPA.
Ellen, it would be probably like a mix of
Mhm.
Yeah.
affordable and market rate.
Mhm.
But,
Those would be like single families, like single family
like we,
homes or?
it's not like, we don't have like a concept
Yeah,
in place yet, because frankly, we don't even know if we can build
if you can
housing.
do it. Okay,
Mhm.
And that's why we need the study done.
okay.
Um,
So you want us to put it on the agenda next time?
Yeah.
To vote on? Okay,
mhm.
we can do that.
We appreciate that consideration.
Yeah, sure.
We
Okay.
appreciate all the work that you
Yeah.
and Liz do for
Yeah,
us.
you guys are awesome.
Okay,
I'm chair
So
of the
you're
board.
next- so
I'm
you're
chair of
next
the board,
on.
but I'm still trying to be effective. I always keep saying that.
What'd you say?
you're up again.
Oh, yeah. Again,
Popular guy tonight.
the next thing I wanted to talk about was, I am really involved with Mass Housing Partnership, and I'm subscribed to all of their emails and things of that nature, newsletter, and I got, the 2024 Affordable Housing Trust and CPA Conference notice, my inbox, and there's, a couple of interesting virtual conferences that, take place at like noon, lunchtime, for like an hour, that if you have the time, I suggest, you, think about attending. There's one in particular that I thought you all could benefit from. I was just gonna suggest it, is on December 11th, establishing goals and strategies for your Affordable Housing Trust Fund. Amherst and Marshfield share their experiences. So you can listen to how another town in their Affordable Housing Trust has been able to be successful, what they've done. Think about initiatives for this town. And that's one I think could be really beneficial to you all, if you have the time. If you don't have the time, you don't have the time, but I just wanted to bring it up.
So Kevin, if we went on the Mass Housing Partnership and, got this information, we could register for this thing.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
Is it free?
I can also send
It's
you.
free apparently,
It's
yeah.
free, you don't pay
Yeah.
or anything.
Yeah.
And they take place at noon time. It's not like an evening commitment, it's not
Hmm.
an early morning commitment, so I figured I'd just pass it on,
Thank you.
Yeah,
so.
sounds good. Make a point to do the one on December 11th, to check the calendar.
The other ones are useful too, but I figured I'd point out that one on strategies for affordable housing. And then I also did have some questions in general about what's going on with affordable housing trust, the Affordable Housing Trust. So did you adopt your strategic plan? You remember with Barrett Group?
Yeah, I believe we
I
did.
believe
You
we
did.
did, yeah.
Okay. I wasn't completely sure if that was adopted or not.
I think we did.
Is that, does that go to the,
Did you guys like endorse that and adopt it and everything at a meeting?
I think we did,
You did?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we
I think
did.
it was one of the last ones that we had.
Okay.
oh, please? Oh,
with,
yeah, here.
Yeah, I was
When
just.
Kenny was still here.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was that
Probably
meeting.
have to go back.
Yeah, I just wanted confirmation, because
Let me see.
I know it's on the website, because I went on the Affordable Housing Trust website and I
Mhm.
saw it. I just wasn't sure if it was actually like voted on and.
I think we did.
I have notes here. I will definitely, I'll get back to you, because if we, I'm almost positive we did, but I'll confirm it from my
Okay.
notes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it's actually on
Because that's,
the documents themselves. Does it say that it was?
Yeah,
We
well,
could look at that too and see.
that was one question I had, and then, I guess this is not really a question, but it's more of like, I think Bruce already mentioned this, the housing production plan. It's more, we did get money from Community One Stop for growth for, a housing production plan, which is really big for this town. The one hasn't been done since 2019. It's gonna be done through Old Colony Planning Council. And we're just waiting for the state to
Write
figure
the
it out
check.
for us.
I didn't work on it at OCPC, but I know the people who did, including Laurie Muncy.
Yeah.
And Laurie's great. I'm
she's
just trying to
great.
be, I'm trying to be objective with a former coworker, but Laurie's great.
Yeah, it'll unlock a lot of things for us, including this last thing that I wanted to mention, which is, this last thing that you have is the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Intensive Technical Assistance Program, which is available to all trusts in the state through Mass Housing Partnership. And it is a tool that they're offering to help any affordable housing trust with any of your goals that were in your strategic plan, anything that's why I asked if your strategic plan was adopted.
Yeah, I've got the
Yeah.
final one
Yeah.
here, but I don't,
Because
it just goes right in there.
the housing production plan is going to happen, which is good. That needs to be, that's one of the requirements, but I think that they want a strategic plan as well. But if you were to do this, but this is obviously optional, it can help leverage some of your goals in that strategic plan if you want to go ahead and pursue this as a board. And that's something that you could discuss at a later meeting, but I figured I would give this to you now.
Thank you, Kevin.
I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
And do they do that? Is that something that,
So you apply for it, and then
Okay.
they pick two or three communities.
okay,
It's like a, I
I
don't
see.
think they do everybody,
So this is the, okay.
but
Oh, and this is due on the 13th?
I know, it's
Right around the
A
corner.
little tight.
time sensitive. That's why it was your choice. And if you're dying to do it, you're dying to do it.
Mm.
I know it's time sensitive, but,
Is it basically like meetings and like how does,
so you submit a proposal to, the program, to this woman at the Shelley,
Mhm.
I can't pronounce her last name.
Goring?
Boring, yeah.
And
Yeah.
awards are going to be announced January 9th of 2025. And I guess she'll be guiding the process of how it will work. But basically, it'll just be a technical assistance program, just like, I think you'll be assigned a consultant or something. Will help you with some of your strategies, some of your goals as a board.
so it would go in conjunction with what we've,
It'll help you
Okay.
with stuff in your strategic.
in the strategic, okay.
Yeah,
Like to actually implement them?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's just one way to go about it. You can go
Uh-huh.
about it several other ways. It's just, I'm providing like one.
Hmm.
There are tons of other ways to implement a strategic plan, but I just wanted to throw that out there in case you were interested.
Have you guys seen the
was just
2019 housing production plan? Have you ever seen it?
Send me that.
Yeah, we have it.
Okay.
Catch it.
Mine's at home.
Yeah, I
I
have
have
mine
it.
too, I have mine too.
I can get another copy of it.
Yeah. I've got an unbound copy of it from when I was working.
So do we need to decide now if we,
Never got it bound.
You don't need
Wanna
to
do
decide
that?
now. I mean, the
gonna-
application, like, it's a 1 to 2 page proposal. That's why I gave it to you. because it's not like it's a 15-page application.
So is there a link here for us to see, do we fill out an
I can
online
send it.
application?
So if you look, I stapled something to the next page,
Oh, yes.
and this is the application.
Oh, okay, got it.
And it's
Didn't see
3
the
questions.
application word
Doesn't
up the
like
top
it's
there.
December,
3
yeah.
questions. Your trust name, your phone number, it's, yeah, so it's, I think they want it short and sweet.
Thank you. Okay.
I don't remember when I looked at it if they limit the characters to each one, but I just printed out the page.
Okay.
I'm assuming if it's 1 to 2 pages, they probably limited the characters for these questions, so.
Do you want me to fill this out? Oh, did I just volunteer for something?
I think you did.
Be careful what
I
you
got
do,
it.
Sue.
Do you want me to fill it out and throw it together? Do you want to see it beforehand? Do you want me
Is
to
it something
email
that
it
we
to
have
all of you?
mail?
You guys don't have to do it.
No, but I mean, if it's 3 questions,
I'm
it's
just
really
offering it.
smooth sailing, you might as well just fill it out, because it's 3 questions. I mean, if the worst case scenario, they say, no, thank you.
Yeah.
We're
why
moving
don't-
on.
Why don't we do that, and why don't you
Okay.
just,
Do we have to vote on it?
Email.
Like,
For me to
like the
do it, I say
final-
no.
No, I mean, after you write it, do we have to vote to send it
To
in,
send
or
it?
is it? I don't know what the,
I don't know, I just was sent to
you're the messenger, we
relay-
know.
relay the information.
I'll tell you
We
what,
might-
let's vote to do it.
to do it? And
Do it.
then
Okay.
we get it
Yeah.
together, and, yeah.
Let's just vote to do it. So
All right.
someone want to make a, I'll say, Pam?
I'll make a motion to do the application for the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Intensive Technical Assistance Program.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And thanks for doing this.
Yeah, and you know, you can just email.
Yeah, I'll just
Well, so
email it
just
to you,
say,
and then
hey,
you
this
can
is
put
what
your
I put
points,
together,
or,
and-
you know, whatever
yeah.
you want to do.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so any projects, anything you guys want to have accomplished in this town,
Okay.
it'll help you.
Hmm.
But it won't, the key thing I should note is it won't fund like construction,
Mhm.
that kind of stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else, Kevin?
That should be it for me.
I'll stick around for the last couple. You got a car now, you don't have to walk.
Thank you for coming to the meeting.
Yeah, thank
No
you.
problem.
Okay. Next on the agenda, update on 871 Plymouth Street.
The foreclosure, so this is the Habitat home that the town is, the Habitat is purchasing, and CPC and Housing Trust gave them funds towards the purchase price. The foreclosure deed has finally been recorded at the Plymouth Registry of Deeds, and they are just waiting, they have one more document, the grant agreement that they're waiting for the town to finish, and then they'll be ready to close on the home. So we're almost there.
Okay.
That's it.
Who's the Abington contact on Habitat? Do we have an Abington?
Well,
contact?
Noreen Brown is the Director of Development. That's
Okay.
who I'm dealing with.
Okay.
I'm her liaison.
Okay, so you would be the contact?
Yeah,
Thank-
yeah.
Thanks, Ellen.
Awesome.
Good.
And
Oh, that's great.
CPA funding request update.
Still in the eligibility stage. It's been determined as an eligible application. And then the final, now the final application has to be submitted, which is almost the same as the regular application.
Right. Oh, okay. So part 2 needs to be done now?
Bruce?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
because it's been determined to be eligible, now we just have to go
Okay.
forward.
And we need them by, what was the date, December 3rd or
Third,
something?
yes.
For the next meeting?
Yeah, the next meeting of our committee, of the CPC committee,
It's almost the exact same application.
CPA committee.
Did I give you a copy of that?
Yeah, I've got it. I got,
Okay.
well, phase 1 I've gotten here, but I got phase 2, and I've got,
Okay.
And then
So I
CPC,
can-
and
oh, here it
then
is.
Colony. Wow. I told my wife I'm gonna be over there.
Yeah.
Like, sort of like this week.
Yeah.
So that's so you have it all filled out already?
I don't think I have all of it filled.
Okay. So when you finish it, you can give it to me if you want. and
Okay.
I can, like we did the first one.
All right, I will get in touch with you
Okay,
and finish that.
all right.
Future meeting dates.
Future meeting dates.
What day is this? This is the third Thursday of the month?
We typically have been meeting on Mondays, but the room wasn't available,
Mhm.
so,
You want to do the third Monday of the month?
We were doing, to coordinate with the selectmen's meetings because Suzanne would be here. Do you still like that idea, Suzanne?
Sure.
But the selectmen's meeting are
pretty-
at 6 o'clock now, so
Right.
we'd have to do the meeting earlier than 5. Are you, is everybody, well, you're retired, I'm retired. Are you available earlier?
could
So we do it at 5
We do it
on,
at 5.
So you
so
meet the-
you're looking at the 16th?
You meet the 2nd and 4th or the
No, we're
1st
meeting
and
the
the
9th.
3rd?
The 9th we're meeting. That's
You're
the only
meet-
meeting that we have in December because of the holiday.
Oh, okay.
So we are meeting on December 9th.
So do we want to meet before that selectmen's meeting?
we
It-
can touch
Yeah, we
base
could,
on.
we could.
That sounds good to me. I don't have anything going on that day so far.
Monday the 9th at 5?
Monday, December 9th,
Yeah.
next meeting, December 9th, Monday.
5 o'clock and then go to selectmen at 6 o'clock.
Couldn't be eating supper later.
Oh, just on one night.
It's all right, I could do that.
Okay, that sounds good.
Anything else? Anybody?
I just, I just think we just need to try to get a schedule down the road as far as what, meeting dates. So think about that. We know we're gonna have the one in December.
Yep.
But after that, if are we gonna meet on a monthly basis? Are we gonna meet on a bi-monthly basis? You guys were meeting on a monthly basis?
Monthly
Yes.
base. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, and we were coordinating it with the selectmen.
With the
okay,
selectmen.
so let's just go with that. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll make that
Second.
motion.
Second?
All in
those
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone, for welcoming me back to the committee.
Yeah, we're happy to have you back.
And voting me to be chair. I appreciate it very much.